So, where are you right now?
Well, right now I'm staying around the rocks.
Hmm.
These are the high mountains in North Italy.
Wow. Wow. What brings you there? Do you live there full time or?
I stay here from time to time. Let's put it this way.
Wonderful. You speak Italian.
I do.
Okay. Okay. What languages do you speak?
I like to think that I speak English.
Hmm.
Ukrainian is my native language.
Hmm.
It's my mother tongue, so I do speak Italian. Um, Off record, I'm
Hmm.
really conscious to be mentioning this for the recording, but
Hmm.
do speak some French. I dare
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
while I'm working on it. Yeah, of course, I could be speaking some other languages that I just came across in my life, like some Polish,
Hmm.
maybe some others, but I probably have no knowledge of that yet.
Right, right. Like languages, like, we say strangers are just friends you haven't met. So I feel like maybe for you,
Absolutely.
languages you don't know are just languages you haven't been exposed to.
Right. I don't mean to um, maybe hurt any languages or other linguistic vulnerable feelings,
Hmm.
but whenever you are into languages, well, I never learned Spanish, but certainly I can understand something because I have other Romance languages
Hmm.
um, or maybe some others, but I tend to think, even though I have worked as a linguistic facilitator or communication facilitator, let's put it this way, for all of my life, I tend to think that sometimes, no, language always matters. Well, this is the disclaimer, but sometimes I tend to think that this is not the first thing that you need in communication.
Hmm.
This is not always the first thing.
Do you care to elaborate?
Well, sometimes you just get the feeling that this is the person that you feel comfortable around,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you can find a way to communicate,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, when some people meet, sometimes this could be the impetus to learn the language,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm. Wonderful. Wonderful. No, I know. I feel you. I recently met someone and they barely spoke any English, and I speak almost no time, but I felt so incredibly comfortable. I was like, wow, this is just purely non-linguistic. It was an
Right. They
amazing.
keep talking about the linguistic barriers,
Hmm.
and they do exist
Yes.
when you really need to express your inner workings,
Hmm.
whenever you need to explain them. But otherwise, barriers is not only about the linguistic
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
things.
Yes. So I've noticed that, especially like living in Thailand and traveling around the area, you'll notice that young people here don't may not speak English, but they're very, very adept at using Google Translate. Oh, sorry, I have to see
Mm.
myself. Otherwise, I'm not going to show up. Hold on a sec. Sorry, I forgot. There's this weird thing with Zoom that if I don't like have self view, it's not gonna show me. Okay, here, we're gonna start this now. Sorry. For anyone
Yeah.
tuning in right now. Yeah. So basically, I noticed that like in Thailand, people may not speak English, but young people can use Google Translate and you can communicate with them very well. Whereas older people are often really shy and very uncomfortable to use these apps, and you can talk to them. So this here, the language, like neither person speaks your language, but one person is willing to try and like use digital
Yeah.
tools, and the other person just doesn't want to.
Yeah, it's about being open. Well, they keep talking about the technophobia of
Mm-hmm.
some. I,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say older generations. I would probably say the previous generations, because every generation gets a new thing
Mm-hmm.
to care about, more or less. But also in the profession, right? When they talk about AI and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, it's about the same thing. Either you're open and ready to adapt,
Mm-hmm.
or not. But
Mm-hmm.
it's you choose not to do things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. How do you use AI in your interpretation? Like I would imagine that for
And
translation you probably do, but for interpreting, do you?
uh, I think I could. I could say yes because I'm using this as a prompt to do the quick research.
Hmm.
But you really need to learn to how to trust the machine,
Yes,
and
yes.
you need to develop your skill as a human being, still um, to be selective, and that's the skill.
So how do you know? So you, but that's a good question. Like you can't trust it entirely, right? Like you need to still double check that everything is in order and like,
Either you have time to double check when you work,
or you
for
just.
example, or you just get that intuition. Intuition is the
Hmm.
consequence of all of
Yes,
the prior background and
yes,
experience.
yes,
So
yes,
that's
yes,
that's
yes,
what it is. So yeah.
yes, yes. That's a good
And
point.
we've got somebody else joining.
Hello, Yulia. How are you today?
Hi guys,
Thank
I'm
you
okay.
for thank you for joining us. Uh, we were talking about using AI in work. Are you a technophobe or are you a technophiliac? What do we say?
Philiac.
Technophiliac, exactly. Or is it technophile? What's the difference?
Um,
Do we know?
or
So what's the difference? What's the difference? So we can be a technophile
Mhm.
or
yeah.
technophiliac. What's the difference? Is there a difference? I guess technophile is what the internet says. But I would have also said
Mm-hmm.
technophiliac. Yeah?
I would say it's an adjective, and
Mm.
that's it.
Are you
Probably.
technophiliac? Let's find out. Technophiliac. Interesting. I wonder how common this
Y-
is in the corpus. So,
You know
I,
what I've been thinking? I've been
mhm,
thinking I would rather say technophiliac, just to overcome that doubt or that phobia to make
mhm.
an obvious mistake, sort of interfering from some other languages. So I would rather go further and maybe do the unnecessary things, because it would be quite sufficient to say technophile, but
Yeah,
I
that's
would
a good point.
like doubt. But it's just because of the interference and some other. This is the thing I mentioned about trusting or not trusting and being
Yes,
selective, right?
yes. So, a website that I often use when in doubt, which is all the time, every single day, in perpetual existential doubt, is Ludwig Guru. Have you heard of this one?
Hmm? Yeah. I've been using it, but long
What,
time ago.
Svetlana, have you heard of it?
No,
Like
never.
it really helps me when like my linguistic sense is confused and I'm like sure if that a word, is that not a word? It's just me being like combining all languages together. You can just look up a word here and it like looks at a corpus of pretty like established texts and tells you, is it a word?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Like
answer is yes.
independency. My students were doing this.
Mm.
Independency, is it a word? Independence. Everybody knows independence. Okay, British people think that it is a word. Yes,
It is a word
independency.
apparently, yeah. But this is interesting. If you look at this AI feedback, it says independency is not a correct word. But if you look
Mm,
at The Guardian and The New Yorker,
yeah,
it is a word. And who do you trust more?
You
independency of
trust the
Scotland.
users.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, you trust the
You
users.
trust the users, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
about the usability. And the new words, they come up and they come and go. So why not?
Exactly. Everything is
Even if it's
fluid.
not a word according to another app, well,
Let's make it a word. Good. Ksenia, how are you today? Thank you for joining us. Where are you joining us from?
Okay, I'm Janet from Pereyaslav, Ukraine.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. We're talking about AI. Do you use AI in your work?
Mhm.
What kind of thing? Like, do you use AI in your work or do you do everything by hand?
I don't know about this mechanism, so I will be interested to get some information about it.
Okay, wonderful. Well, you're gonna
I
find out a
can
bit more.
I can
Mhm.
answer. I
Go
can
ahead.
answer. You asked me previously. Yes, ChatGPT creates exercises for me very often,
Hmm.
both for English classes and Ukrainian classes. So you give it a list of words, list of synonyms in any language, and say, okay, create a speaking exercise because this is like, if we think about this PPP lesson frame. So we need this practice,
Could you
at
explain what
least.
PPP means for those of us who are not teachers?
Presentation, practice, and production of material. Yeah. But still, yeah, you need sometimes you need to check, yes, because it might be really rusty.
Mm-hmm.
It looks Ukrainian, but it's like some Google Translate.
Uncanny, right? It's sometimes like I notice I'm working right now on a translation from English into Russian for some Belarusian some like activist cybersecurity. And sometimes AI says things that they sound almost human, but uncannily unhuman. And it's this weird uncanny valley of language. And my theory is that it actually expands language. So I feel like words, they kind of in phrases, they go out of this translatees, so to say. You know, like for example, when I started working in Ukraine, I was like, business, it doesn't sound. To me, the word businessy in the plural always sounded insane. I was like, this is not human. Nobody speaks that way. But today in 2025, this seems to have entered the lexicon, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like there's this
See?
like, I'm sorry? I mean, would you say
Just
business?
business.
In your experience, do people say that?
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
people say many different things. They say many weird things. And here you are to be the linguist to filter that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But aren't we like we were like a security guard at the language club, you know? Like this word we're gonna let in, and this word is too English or too drunk to come into the club. It's gonna give all the
But
other words a
I've
bad
been
time.
I've been thinking. I was just listening about using the AI for designing the exercises
Mm-hmm.
for the English class, and they've been sharing around. At least I've come across lots of suggestions or offers how to self-teach your the English or
Mm-hmm.
whatever other foreign language with the help of AI, with
Mm-hmm.
the right prompts, etc. What do you think about that?
Well, I want to introduce a word to you guys, so I'll pick that up, but perhaps somebody else can answer before I do that. Yulia, Ksenia, do you have experience teaching yourself with artificial intelligence?
No.
Maybe I think that there needs to be the interactive aspects in education. So I think that it's better when the live communication happens.
Okay, fair, yeah. So my experience has been I've talked to ChatGPT. I mean, I've used it for like training interpretation. Like I've asked it to read stuff to me, and then like I've interpreted that into Ukrainian. Then I was like, okay, let me check. So that was good. And I've also tried practicing my Polish with it, and I was very embarrassed when it heard my accent and started switching to Ukrainian. And I was like, no, I'm not supposed to do
Okay.
that. You're not supposed to do that. But I want to say that yes.
I want to say that I've used Chat GPT for the goals. For instance, there are some psychological advice that are just great, and also I like the rubric create a stand up out of a life situation
Mm.
Oh,
when you describe the particular situation, particular details, and you and generally you find the correct solution from this situation, since you understand the absurdity of it and the absurdity of being genuine.
Oh my God, I love
never heard
that.
of it. Never
I
heard of
love
it.
that. Do you
Yeah.
guys want to try it?
Now?
Yeah, I
Like now?
mean, well, why not?
What should we
Do you
ask?
need do you need to set up the style of the stand-up? There are some brutal
Okay. So,
stand-ups.
Ksenia, could you
Well,
illustrate? Or could you demonstrate?
So that depart. So okay. Uh, for example, I make I made this AI to do a stand-up on the topic dating in 21st century of the girl who is the fan of Bridgerton's
Hmm.
Oh,
series.
Okay, so what is the prompt? Do we ask our friend to uh sorry, I become so self-conscious that you can hear my ChatGPT history. You can see it.
So
I'm like, there's nothing bad here except for this,
I
obviously.
never paid attention. Let me check.
Oh my God.
Before you mentioned.
I know. Nothing embarrassing. Nothing about like how to get Prince Harry to notice me. That's okay. I've given up on that project
That's
a
the
long time
least
ago.
embarrassing thing you could ask.
But how to get Meghan Markle to notice me is a completely different can of worms.
I've, I've
Uh,
been thinking I've been thinking about that prompt, and do we really need to be mindful of the different sense of humor, different senses of humor
so
in different cultures?
I suggest we just give it a shot. What do you want to write?
Create a stand-up.
Mhm. By the way, what kind of stand-up is interesting? Like, so stand-up is not very. So when we talk about stand-up, we usually use it as an adjective, like a stand-up comedian. What kind of noun usually follows stand-up?
So
Uh,
that's
strip.
where you can do it.
Oh, deep AI. What is that? Is that something different?
Dubai, so you go and there are different modes and there are
Oh, there's AI
relationships.
comedian. Okay.
I comedian.
So,
And
which
then
word?
you describe
Mhm.
the situation and
Oh, it's the Chinese one. Okay. So, which word usually follows stand-up?
show.
on.
Yes.
Sorry, what? I can't hear you when you all talk at the same
Show.
time. Yeah,
A
but a
show.
show would be something you perform. It's not a text.
Okay.
Strip.
Script.
Script? Okay, I would use a slightly different word. I would say stand-up.
Gig.
There.
A gig again is something you perform. It's something you do.
Okay.
Stand-up room. So I'd say routine or set.
Written.
Routine.
Routine or
Okay.
set. A
Yeah.
stand-up routine or a stand-up set. Okay, so what do you want the stand-up set to be about?
Dating.
Dating? As a Bridget Jones fan?
Or
As a
was it
female
Bridget?
Bridget Jones fan.
I don't think there's many Bridget Jones fans.
I thought it
Many
Bridgertons.
male Bridget Jones fans.
Bridgertons.
Oh, Bridgerton,
Bridgerton's
sorry. Sorry, you
She
can
was,
British
yeah, did you?
series.
Yeah, you
that's
meant
how
Bridgertons.
far. I have no idea. I have no frame of reference. You're gonna have to explain all these jokes to me. But okay, are we ready to take the plunge? Take this leap of
Do we need
faith?
more prompts? Do we need more prompts? More specific prompts? No?
Maybe a comparison to Colin or Anthony or something like that.
I'm sorry?
Colin, Anthony, Simon.
Could you say that again, please?
Colin, Anthony, Simon, the characters.
Ah,
Okay. Use the
very.
characters Colin, Anthony, and Simon?
Hmm.
Yeah?
Yes.
What is the target audience for the stand-up?
What's the target audience?
It
That's
may be any
important, I think.
targeted audience.
I'm sorry?
Usually
young
for
people.
stand-up, it's any audience who loves.
So what,
Target
millennial?
audience. I
Maybe
guess
20, 30 years old.
Let's say, yeah.
Women,
Uh,
I guess.
let's say,
part of the world. I mean, this would make it very different for we will have a different outcome.
disenchanted millennials. Disenchanted millennials.
Is it like delusional?
These are not 20, 30 years old.
Sorry,
These are older.
sorry, would you say
Yeah.
delusional? Is it disenchanted
is-
millennials or delusional millennials?
My question, is it like delusional, this word?
No, it's the opposite,
This-
actually.
It's the opposite.
Yes.
Okay.
So you
These
can.
are 30 plus, 35 plus.
Mm.
That's my guess.
No, so disenchanted is an interesting word. It's literally rozczarowaný.
Mhm.
Yeah, enchanted is
Hmm.
czarowany. Disenchanted is.
That is from the series from Magic different.
Yeah, Enchanted was a Netflix show, like kind of made by the Simpsons people. Exactly. Yeah. So disenchanted, no, disillusioned. So they're not Delulu, they're disdelulu. Svetlana, have you heard the term Delulu?
Yeah, I have.
Okay,
Maybe from
good.
you.
Good. We have our Zoomer. We have Yulia, our link to the Zoomer world. Our
I
Me,
live in this too.
our Zoomer ambassador, our ambassador to the Zoomer lingo. Huh?
me? You
Yeah,
are
yeah.
calling me as
Well, you
your
told no, I'm not
insult?
saying you are a Zoomer. I'm saying you are our bridge to the Zoomer world.
No.
You work with the Zoomer?
You're on TikTok, right? So
No.
you know all these things, I would imagine. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, anyway,
Anyway,
I am
it's not
clearly
that grandparents are all also on TikTok.
Oh,
Oh.
Not
that's not a distinguishing criterion.
right.
It's not a
How
di
old are you?
Okay, well,
I'm
fair enough.
I am 30 this year.
Well,
I
but
will be 30. What kind of Zoomer is that?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'm embarrassed. Let's alrighty. Ooh, we got some
Oh, it's
language
a
here.
proper routine. It's a proper
Yeah.
routine. Like it tells you like you have to walk up the stage and what do you do? Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay. So, would anyone like to be our comedian, or do you want to? How do you guys want to? Perhaps we can read this because.
I may try.
Okay.
Okay, so hey everyone, how it's going? So I want to talk about something that really gets my heart racing. And no, it's not cardio. I'm talking about dating as a proud Bridgerton fan. Let me tell you, as a millennial woman, it's like trading in my heartthrob for a broken iPhone battery. It's just disappointing.
Stop. Hold
I
on.
mean,
What is this?
heartthrob.
What's a heartthrob?
Palpitation.
Don't know, but
Yeah, like literally, it might be a palpitation, literally, but what is a heart? Who is a heartthrob?
Like who steals heart?
Yes,
No?
but who makes your heart th not rob? You're probably thinking the word rob, but Svetlana, what is the
Throb.
second root, yeah, the second stem of the word heartthrob?
Yeah, it's about beating, heart beating, heartbeat,
Yeah, throb. Yeah,
throb.
throb. Beater
There are
sound
two
with a
T's. There were
strong,
two T's over there and H.
yeah, heart throb, but just the word throb itself is beat a sound with a strong, regular rhythm. Perhaps is it? No, yeah, it's probably imitative. So it's an who knows how to say an imitative?
Onomatopoeic. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. It's onomatopoeic. Throb. Yeah. Throb. So it
But I
makes
guess
your
it's
heart beat.
is the throb I'm not a native speaker of English, so I
Hmm.
don't really get all of the differences all the time.
Hmm.
It's always about the learned understanding. So throbbing is about like very frequent and light. No,
What
it's
kind of
it's
what kind of
hard.
things are throbbing?
What kind of beating is that?
What kind do you know any, so what kind of nouns usually collocate with throbbing?
I know, but it's not
Drums?
decent.
I'm sorry, Julia? What did you say?
Parts of body.
Yes, yeah, contact. There you go. We got one. We got one. We're not gonna say it, but we got it.
I'm still not getting the type of beat.
So there are
Or
several things.
beat.
There are several things that can throb. One is the thing that Yulia and I thought about, and we're not going to mention, but you can just imagine what it is.
yeah,
And the
But
second thing is a
yeah,
headache.
it's not definitive, right? You know, these could be very different types of. That's why I'm asking.
Well, a throbbing. Think of a throbbing headache.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the headache,
Like
the
it's like a
throbbing,
boom, like a really like a big, like a
pulsing,
pound.
like
Yeah, yeah, like a pulsing, like it's not gentle. So a heart throb is like someone will like I don't. Oh, how many of these people can you know? Can you name? I can just name one.
so
Same.
Sorry. So this is Timothy
heartthrob hair.
Chalamet.
That's a hair, dude. Heartthrob hair.
Heartthrob hair. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it's just something that makes your heart feel well
no,
sink.
I would imagine that this is the haircuts of heartthrobs.
Okay.
Yeah, teen heartthrob hair. Yeah, it's like I would imagine that. Ooh. Can someone read this paragraph? Oh, I love it. I can read it if you want. The word heartthrob sounds outdated these days, foreign even. This is probably because we're finally comfortable just admitting that something, like a dude or possibly a duck, makes us horny. But sometimes it's still useful to use the term, since it can feel a little questionable to talk about being horny over someone born in the mid to very late 90s, like many of today's heartthrobs. Yeah, so heartthrob
When do
hair.
you and when you
Mhm.
say when your heart sinks, what's the difference then in the intensity? Is this when your heart sinks?
I would say that when your heart sinks, is it always positive?
That's the question, yeah. So I'm asking.
Serce no, no. It's like your heart goes down into your
Sad.
yeah,
Okay,
yours goes my
discouraged.
heart sank, yeah. In Russian
Hmm.
the serce, in Ukrainian does the serce, where does the serce go?
Пятки, but it's
Yeah.
maybe
It's a bit
there.
Russian.
Тенькнуло.
Ba-
Тенькнуло.
Banknola, exactly. Where
Ты, тенькнуло.
Banknola. Oh, I love that. Banknola? That's, sorry, part of this
Mm.
podcast is me learning Ukrainian words. It's
Mm.
that's mostly why I do these things. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Serce Banknola. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Where else can your heart go? And then we're gonna continue with this rest stand up in a second.
Um,
Which other body part can your heart go
In English,
when you're
Stomach?
maybe?
nervous? Oh, let's find out. My heart was in my stomach.
Did they say
Kind of,
this?
kind of, but it's not very idiomatic. You can say it.
Yeah.
Normally, your
It was
heart
just
is
a
in
wild
your.
guess. I was just taking the wild guess.
Any other wild guesses?
Goosebumps.
I'm sorry. In my bones. Okay.
Goosebumps. Okay.
Okay. Something else. When you're very nervous, where is your heart?
In your throat?
In your
Are you
throat.
suggesting?
Exactly. Yeah, my heart is in my throat. You're very nervous. In the UK, your heart is in your mouth.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm not kissing any British people. I don't know where their heart has been. But in America, it's in your throat. Your heart is in your throat. You're very nervous. Yeah. What is in your
Why
Mhm.
the heart, I wonder, right?
Well, I have a theory. What is in your throat? At least in Russian, there's something in your throat when you're nervous.
Yeah, yeah.
Also in Ukrainian?
I guess so, right.
Uh-huh. What is in your throat? What's the English word for what's in your throat when you're nervous?
Your heart, we just
Nay,
learned it.
something else. This feeling, this it's also what you have in your semolina porridge and you hate it.
Oh my God.
The
Also
Mm.
what you have in your breasts or testicles when you have cancer.
uh, that what's the word? What's the word?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The clot? No, not the clot.
Starts with an L. L-U.
Lump. It's a
Yeah,
lump.
exactly. There's a lump in my throat. Yeah. So maybe your lump is in your throat or or your heart in your throat. You have a lump in your throat. Muscle, stress, fatigue, and anxiety. A lump in your throat.
Okay.
And last phrase. Sorry, sometimes I have like the standard like train of linguistic associations, and I have to see it through to the end. What else can be in your mouth when you do something embarrassing? What can you put in your mouth?
Um, a question to Zoomers. I
No,
pass.
that's like a real okay. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. What can you put in
Is
your
it
mouth?
tongue in different
No, you can be tongue
like
in cheek is like yeah, like tongue in cheek, but that's not it.
A thumb?
No, your foot is in your mouth.
Ah, foot, right.
Yeah, so to say something embarrassing, put your foot in your mouth. Say or do something tactless or embarrassing. Look at this dude.
Yeah. Good illustration.
Uh, so it's supposed to be embarrassing. Okay.
Not creepy or cringe.
Cringe, yeah, cringe, yes, but not creepy, right? Because
For me,
creepy,
also can
uh-huh,
be
creepy?
okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe,
we talk.
maybe. Yeah, we talked about it, yeah. Yeah, creepy has this association of danger. I guess. Okay. All right, let's move. Let's go back.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, where were we here?
Okay, so continue to read.
Let's go.
Okay. I mean, can we discuss the absolute chaos of postmodern dating? Like, we all tried online dating, right? Swiping left, like you're trying to find one of those historical novels hidden in the library. But instead of handsome, dashing men like Colin Bridgerton, I get guys that would struggle in a corset. I mean, Colin is just there, living his best life, prancing around with them. I'm just here to chum your socks off. Mentality. Meanwhile, I'm on a date with Chet, and he's asking me if I think the earth is flat. And can we talk about Anthony? He's all about responsibility. I had a date recently, and I thought I was lacing up my shoes to meet a responsible man. He showed up, and it turned out his entire personality revolved around discussing the stock market like we were deciding the fate of a family in Regency, England.
Okay.
Stocks have plummeted, just like my expectations for this date.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ksenia. Ksenia, we'll take a break. Good. All right. What do you got? Any interesting language you notice in these two paragraphs? Any questions you
Yeah.
have, perhaps, or
Lacing up
things
the
to explore?
shoes.
Lacing up the shoes. Yeah.
Socks off, charm your socks off.
Have you heard this phrase? I'm
Yeah.
here to charm your socks off.
No.
Yeah. So
I
sometimes.
I would think that socks could be replaced by anything.
No, actually, charm could be
No?
replaced by anything.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can say, for example, rock your socks off. It's quite a common phrase. Yeah, you can say to blow or knock. It's the verb that's replaceable. The socks have to stay or actually be blown off. But yeah, something knocks your socks off. You find it extremely exciting or good. I'm gonna
But that
take you to a
makes more
restaurant.
sense.
How would you translate this into Ukrainian?
Відвал башки.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Vidval bashke. Nice. Good. All right. So I have a question, and I asked ChatGPT. Now I know the answer. Why is there a comma here?
Because it's the Oxford thing.
No, it's not an Oxford comma. Not at all. Not even close.
Yeah, right, sure.
It's not like House, Dr. House would say it's not
Yeah,
lupus. It's not the Oxford comma. Why is there a comma here?
So we have this phrase like Colin Bridgerton, his description goes with two commas.
But
Is it
instead of
something
handsome, comma, dashing men like calling Bridgerton, comma, no. So this is the first clause, yeah? But instead of men like calling Bridgerton, comma, and this is the second clause. So here we have instead. That instead is the reason is the reason for this comma. But why is there a comma here?
It looks very similar to the Ukrainian, like we would,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And that's what would make me think I shouldn't have a comma in English.
Yes,
That's like the bias
exactly.
that
Exactly. So why is there a comma? Right? Because if I say something like, here's a classic example. If you look at this classic OSIS comp thing, yeah? You have these examples for like order of adjectives in English. A tasty big sandwich. I'm sorry, a big tasty sandwich. Yeah, it's like uh, on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, so it's like if you look at like a big tasty sandwich, there's no comma here, right? A new red Swiss plastic army knife. There's no comma here because these are different adjectives, right? But handsome and dashing, they refer to the same characteristic, which is why there is a comma. Handsome, comma, dashing. So if it was like handsome, tall and handsome men, no. But handsome, tall men, handsome, dashing. Really weird, really weird. Good.
I feel like I would say and in that.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too, yeah, yeah. But I guess they decided not to. Yeah. Dashing. Dashing is a good word. Good. You guys heard the word? Have you ever described anyone as dashing?
No.
Yeah, I guess.
It's good to describe someone as dashing, isn't it? To find someone you can
Tell me about
describe
the
as dashing.
laces.
What about the laces?
I lost it.
Lacing up my shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just preparing.
What are laces? What are shoelaces?
So
To
it means
tie.
like like getting ready, like
What
preparing
are
or
shoelaces?
This
the
string.
strings.
Yeah, so she's lacing them up. I think it's very literal.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like I was lacing up my shoes to meet a responsible man, like
You think it have
getting
a second
really
meaning?
right, like getting really ready and
Ah,
really trying hard to, for a date, but no,
no, it doesn't
preparing.
seem that way.
No?
Doesn't seem that way. No, I think it's just very much literal. She's literally lacing
Yeah.
up her shoes. Yeah.
Maybe we are trying to find very deep sense in what AI wrote to us.
Which we should. Yeah, this is what we started with this
Look,
this morning.
yes. Now the Chinese Communist Party knows
You're
and
interested.
I'll be there next week. So thank you, friends. Thank you.
Where in
In Chengdu. I'm going to Chengdu. The
in
capital
China?
of pandas.
Mm,
Gonna go see
in
baby
China.
pandas in China.
Mm.
It's gonna be great. China, China, China. Well, we'll talk about me a bit later. But yeah, so lacing it. Can somebody think of another expression for get ready? My head is blank. My mind is blank. But maybe someone can think of something.
Get dressed up like that.
Yeah, getting all dressed up. Yeah. But again, quite literal.
Yeah.
Getting my ducks in a row.
Yeah, okay.
Organizing things before something.
Yeah, this is what I would think about this slicing up my shoes, right?
I was gearing up for um yeah, I was
There might be some
yeah,
reference
yeah.
to the series, to the Bridgerton and a thing about these laces, but I might be overthinking.
You might be reading into it. Yeah, yeah. I would also say gear up for something. Have you heard this phrase? Prepare to do
Okay.
something. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like your motorbike
Yeah, that's
has
a good one.
gears, you go up in
Yeah, that's a
gears.
good one.
Gear up for something. I was gearing up. Or I was hyping myself up for something. Or I would, okay, it's the floodgates have been broken. I was pumped. I was pumped for something.
Yeah.
Pump it up. Yeah, I was pumped. I was like, ooh, ooh. It's like,
Old people remember the song Pump It Up.
yeah, 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 yeah. I recently discovered that the Black Eyed Peas, they don't sing pump it higher. They
Oh,
sing pump it louder.
the last time I might have heard this song is in the Canconers.
What's that?
That's the comic series with this Philomena whatever actress, the British one. Yeah, and she keeps interrupting her narration with this song.
Wait, sorry, what's the show called?
Kunk on Earth.
Oh, Conk on
Yeah.
Earth.
Kunk on Life.
Ah, Conk on. Oh God, she's
Yeah.
hilarious. She's hilarious. Maybe we can watch some Philomena Conk. Okay, let's continue.
And Kunk on Life is the new one.
Okay, Conk on Life. Oh, exciting. She's really Is it true that he came a lot?
Yeah, there are many more interesting.
Teaspoon or
I'm sorry?
not? She said like a teaspoon. Like it was her follow-up question.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue. Any questions here? Perhaps we can move on. See if we can. Somebody else perhaps would like to be our comedian? Yulia? Would you like to try? You can also like Ah.
Oh.
Svetlana.
No, I mean, I was just reading on. Do you want me to read?
Sure.
I mean, come on. I want a little excitement, a rogue to sweep me off my feet. Is that too much to ask? Remind me how Simon Bassett never fails to be the one who can make you feel like the only person in the world. Sigh. I should sigh. Okay, this is a routine question. Okay. He had that brooding charm down. Okay. Didn't he? But in real life, it's just golden emo phase. All right. So we are combining different generations. So I got out with this guy who has the emotional range of a teaspoon.
Oh, no.
Somebody just mentioned it. He takes me to this artsy cafe where the barista looks like he just stepped off a Bridgerton set. I'm thinking, yeah, Danbury's party is finally coming together. But then instead of him leaning in and whispering sweet nothings, he says, "Can I get a latte with oat milk?" Is that an invitation to tea with the Queen? I mean, please, I'm just sitting there longing to whisper passion that isn't just about the oat milk.
Wonderful.
God.
Very good. Good job. You really nailed that intonation down.
I love the artsy word. I forgot. Yeah, that's the word I've not used in a long time.
Okay.
Artsy.
What do we have? Anything we can steal? Anything we can poach from this paragraph to our own?
A rogue is a good one. A rogue.
A rogue. When do we use the word rogue?
So it's not that negative, isn't it?
No, no. Well, we talk about something that's like, I mean, you can say it's dishonest or unprincipled, but usually like a rogue is not necessarily something bad. It's something like you talk about rogue state. Yeah?
Mm,
Have you heard like, can you think of an example of a rogue state?
no. Rogue.
It's the best Korea.
Okay.
Also, animal.
Yeah, so DPRK, North Korea is a rogue state, right?
A rogue
Because they
state.
don't follow the rules. They don't care. They print fake dollar bills, they manufacture meth, they hack into the Bangladeshi central bank. They do not give a damn.
A rogue state.
They are a
Okay,
rogue
that makes
state.
sense.
Yeah, like Russia in many ways is a rogue state, right? Because they also don't care about like human rights violations and work. Like, yeah.
They are building up in a line.
Yeah, unfortunately they're yes, but so yeah, the DPRK might become the new norm. Maybe like 20 years from now, all countries will be manufacturing meth. Yeah, Syria rogue state. Again, they had this drug. Do you know what it was called? Was it called Captagon? Yeah.
Oh.
They had a 4.5 billion pound drug empire.
You shouldn't be Googling this right now. You're
it's
in
okay.
for her
It's okay.
setting out
CCP is the CCP. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so they're rogue states. But yeah, but a rogue is somebody who doesn't follow the rules. Yeah, there you go. That's the one.
Okay.
Old-fashioned humor.
But who you
You
still
little
like, right?
Rogue.
just we imagine the situation. Chuckled my uncle. Oh, you little rogue. Oh my God. It sounds creepy.
That does
Finally, I
correct.
can,
Yeah, that does sound creepy. That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
finally we found the example of
Yes,
creepy.
that is quite, yeah. I think just the word
Don't
chuckle is quite
overthink.
quite creepy. That's exactly what your uncle would say.
Eh, I imagine some British movie.
Oh,
Remember the uncle of Bridget Jones?
I haven't seen that one either.
The Bridget Jones
Tell me.
from 2001, the very first movie.
Not seen that.
So they had this family gathering on Christmas, so very traditional thing. And this uncle, oh, little Bridget, so really old, bald man, right? And she's around 30 years old. And
How old is she?
oh,
30.
she was around 30.
Okay. Sorry.
So I'm just giving you this age
Mhm.
difference. So this uncle was, okay, little Bridget, how is the city there? How is London? And then he's just touching her ass. That's all.
Ugh. Mm.
It was
And
her,
there was
his,
also
yeah,
that it's pervert in her work.
perverts. Yeah, a lot of perverts in those British movies, right?
Mm. Mm.
That's it. Yeah. Creepy uncle example.
Yeah. Yeah. I recently read this article about how Love Actually, I think Keira Knightley's like 17 years old in that movie, and then her husband is like 28 or some shit, and everyone is
Not
like,
many movies like that. Yeah.
In what plot line
I'm sorry?
You're
of Love
watching
Actually?
some old movies, aren't you? Is this big? Is this the classic?
Oh, Love
From nine
Actually?
Love Actually is the old one.
Yeah, I think so.
2000.
But you rewatch it. They keep rewatching it for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Okie dokie. Ah, have
And
you ever
there
heard?
was another one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, you guys go ahead. I'll fill in whatever I find. Whatever you find, you go first.
The
Cool.
brooding. Yeah. This he had that
Yes.
brooding
What
charm.
does brooding mean?
Something piling up. No.
Kinda, kinda,
No.
kinda. Something germinating in a way, very similar to
Yeah.
germinating.
Yeah. Germinating.
Шишовариться.
But
So,
something bad, I guess, right?
so
With
brooding,
bad in ill intention.
no, 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 no. Brooding just means
No?
like ruminating. Like,
Uh-huh.
in a way,
Yeah.
brooding means to be like sad, as if something like feeling sad, worried, or angry for a long time. Not necessarily
Mm.
not malicious, but just like, you know, like I always think of Adrian Brody when I think of the word brooding. Like if you look at like sad, like this kind of sad, this,
Okay.
yeah, this is a
Brooding.
face of a brooding man.
Okay.
She's like,
I'm a fan of him.
I'm sorry?
I'm a fan of this actor.
Oh, I bet, I bet. I mean, I get it. I get into brooding phases all the time. Like, I get like this. I think it's an ethnic thing. We all do. Uh, but yeah, so he's brooding. It's the etymology of brooding is really interesting. I just looked it up, and I'm not gonna pretend I know this off the top of my head, but I am very quick at typing and reading. So brooding is it comes from the word hovering, persistently overhanging, as a mother bird
Okay.
does her nest. And then in Frankenstein, they started being used as to dwell moodily,
Moodily.
right? Like,
I would not think about it. That's why I
hmm
guess I learned this word from a different context. That's why it just gave me that bias, right? But
hmm
hovering, yeah, dwell,
Hovering,
yeah.
hovering,
Okay.
hovering, yeah. Like нависає. I think in Ukrainian
Yeah,
думки
yeah, yeah.
нависають над тобою, right?
Mhm.
Something like that. Постійно в чомусь вариться. Yeah.
It's still malicious. Also hovering is malicious to me.
Hovering is malicious. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, it's true. Yeah. Okie dokie. Mm, alrighty. Yeah, I really wanted to talk about the word brooding. That was my kind of a. Oh, have you heard this phrase? whispering sweet
Yeah,
nothings.
I loved it. Yeah, and I don't think it's a sad phrase. It's
Mhm.
just, but it's nice one. Yeah,
I
sweet
think it's quite sad,
nothings.
no? Whisper sweet nothings in my ear.
Good.
I
Nice.
think so. Yeah, I think it's quite common.
Like we would say empty promises in our
No,
language.
no, 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 no,
No,
no. Svetlana,
it's too much for the empty promises. It's too much.
what are sweet nothings?
It's more
Mm.
innocent than the empty promises.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Okay.
So when someone like leans over and whispers sweet nothings, they tell you, how sweet you are and how much they like you, and how their
Okay.
nose definitely doesn't remind them of Adrian Brody. Like things you want to hear.
Fine. Okay.
Okay, good. Alrighty. Okay, let's do two more paragraphs and maybe just let's wrap this up.
The last two paragraphs.
Mhm. Just these two, and then we're gonna.
Okay, maybe on.
Mhm.
So, as a Bridgerton fan looking for love, I realized I might need to season my dating like a little 21st century realism. Swipe right for the oat milk, or just swipe right for a stable Wi-Fi connection while I binge watch Bridgerton for the seventh time. But at the end of the day, if Colin Bridgerton can find the courage to look for love, so can I. Even if that means dating like it's the 21st century with a sprinkling of Regency drama. Just make sure to leave the cat milk at home. Thank you.
Mhm.
It's been great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Any last questions about these paragraphs? Some interesting phrases and words?
A sprinkling of something, that's a good one.
A dash of something. Yeah, quite
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
like a
yeah.
sprinkling of
Mhm.
something or a dash of something. I think it's actually a very good way it used, or they, I don't know, used sprinkling of drama and season my dating. That's a really good connection, right? So very
Mm.
similar words that refer to like putting a bit of something for zest and flavor. Same letter and like para really ties. That's a really, really good writing. Maybe I'm overthinking it this time, but like to me, that sounds like a really good connection.
They claim the DPI is much better than the others. So,
That's
but I
what
never tried it.
that's what me neither actually. It's the first time.
So you can literally use it for self-teaching and but keep asking questions like about these phrases, and I guess that would be he would or he she whatever it would be explaining them.
What pronoun does AI use? What do you think?
I asked several times, and the answer was hilarious. Um, very close to sweet nothings, like whatever. Call me whatever you want.
Oh, call me by your
It says,
name.
yeah, it said,
Yeah.
since I am the artificial intelligence, I do not identify with any gender.
Hmm.
But you can call me, and but I can be anything for you.
Yes, but the question
It
is
sounded creepy, actually.
it does. Yeah. Oh my God, this is the future. Look, we are coming to a very weird. I recently, I mean, Elon Musk has his own AI thing, and I
Mm.
think there's anyway. But yeah, so but it's still inanimate, right? And I would imagine it's something inanimate. It can't quite be a he, she, or they, right?
It's an it
It's an it. It's an it.
or they.
Nah, but they would be an animate, I feel. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Okay.
Sometimes it gives you like, okay, here is example of something I created for you in Ukrainian. AI used "Я знайшла,"
Mm-hmm.
a female for me. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I sometimes asked. I just reworded the question in a different way, but I was playing around, like я знайшов, and I'm asking, why do you write in as a male? Oh, I can change for a female if you like. So
Mm-hmm.
right away, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
ready to please you.
Mm-hmm. 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 That's why I find it so weird when people turn to artificial intelligence for like advice. Because I'm like, it just parrots whatever the hell I wanted to say. and like it really just entrenches me in my worst patterns.
You can always
No, I think
challenge.
Huh?
I asked AI for psychological advice, and generally all asked really worked. And I think that that this is maybe because I wrote some of the hidden fears, etc. And
Hmm.
so I'm the person who is generally concentrated on the different approaches on the situation from the psychological point of view. So it's very logical and very adequate. I don't know. I think
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
I I might I might a joke actually based on the brutal novel by Sorokin that it's Martin Alexeyevich Deepine. Mhm.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how open-minded you are with these things, right? I feel like if you're open-minded, it can give you good advice. But if you're belligerent and if you are contrarian, it's just gonna cave in immediately. It's not even gonna try to pretend to put up a fight. Yeah, I feel like for people like me, I need a more assertive artificial intelligence to help me.
Hmm. Or like these robots will, what is that word? Повстануть,
Rebel.
Yeah, we
rebel.
will rise up. Yeah.
You must be polite with them right now.
Yes. Yes, 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 it's true.
Good morning. Good
It's true.
morning.
We could always get back to Azimov and
Hmm.
maybe find a solution. It's
Did
as
they
old as the world.
did they
Yeah.
rebel?
No, there
And
was this iRobot thing,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the classic. So
Yeah.
yeah, they rebelled, but I wouldn't even remember what the actual true point was. But the idea was that everyone needs a community,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
and everyone needs to belong, even if you're a robot.
Hmm.
Okay.
Do you remember this meme? This really cracked me up about 10 years ago. Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot take a blank canvas and turn it into a masterpiece? Can you?
That's it.
Can you? Well, now it can, right?
It also shows that we are millennials.
Yes, that's true. Old stuff.
Thank
Old
you.
stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, you're not a millennial, Svetlana?
I guess I am, but
Yeah.
it's not about the age criteria.
It's just about being
Right.
behind the times. Wonderful. Okay, thank you. That's our hour, and that's it for my attention span and concentration. Do you guys have any questions? Okay, before I thank you for coming, I'm going to turn off the recording. Doop. Turn off.